10-Minute Jazz Lesson Podcast, episode 485. Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 485. Now you're going to hear me do my usual spiel about how the fact that this podcast is also a video on my YouTube channel, but I just wanted to hop on before I do that canned spiel and let you know that this one I think might be particularly important to check in with the video at some point, because you've got all of the music on screen and you're going to hear me in the episode referring to as you can see on screen. So that's going to be really important on this one. You may just want to make a note to yourself to head to YouTube and check out the video for this one. Okay, cheers. Here comes my canned speech. Before we get into this episode of the podcast, just wanted to let you know that there will always be a video version of the podcast over on my YouTube channel. And in order to find that, you can click the link in the description, or you can go to YouTube and just search for Nick Minella, and it will be the latest video on my channel. This is a great way to see all of the visual references that I am referring to throughout the episode. And also, you can support this podcast and the YouTube channel. We are listener supported, which means that we don't do any advertisements or anything like that. Instead, we just rely on people like you that get something out of this to support us in the form of a monthly donation. And in return for that donation, you get all of the supporting materials for every single episode, meaning PDFs, any backing tracks or trading tracks, and other goodies. You can find a link to my online jazz education platform called Jazz School also in the description of this episode. Once you sign up to become a member of Jazz School, which is free, by the way, you'll find instructions on how to sign up to get all of the materials. So head over there, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you. So I hope to see you there, and if you choose to support us, thank you very, very much. We could not do this without you. Okay, on to the episode. Hey everybody, welcome into the exciting conclusion of our series on what is this thing called love. Today, I have prepared a 3-chorus etude for you that we're going to go over and kind of talk about what I'm doing that puts together a lot of the stuff that we talked about over the first 3 episodes into sort of a cohesive statement. Okay, so without any further ado, let's dive in. So I mentioned that I've prepared a 3-chorus etude, so let's listen to each chorus individually, and then we'll break down a little bit what's going on in there, and then at the end we'll hear the entire thing. So here is the first chorus. All right, so as you can see on the screen, I've sort of annotated what I was thinking when I was writing this and when I was playing this material and then transcribing it. So let's go over some of that stuff. So we start with a little bit of space, and I'm mainly using the harmonic minor sound. So you'll see notes from the F harmonic minor scale, concert F harmonic minor scale. So remember, that's going to be... It's that sound, and then we resolve it to the sound of F melodic minor, which is only one note different, but it makes a major, major impact. Now on this second 4 bars, I've done those diminished chord tones that we talked about in the second episode from the series. So you see I'm outlining a diminished seventh arpeggio. And then the way that I'm getting out of this is with a harmonic minor enclosure. So what I mean by that is it's an enclosure based off of the C harmonic minor scale. And you can see that the target note is the major third. And I'm just using a major scale over that. All right, here we go with harmonic minor again. You see I've carried through this kind of motive from the first one, and then I'm resolving that again to melodic minor. Same thing here, just continuing to use that harmonic minor sound with a little scale segment, and then I'm trying to play off the rhythm, right? I'm displacing this phrase a little bit, and then again, resolving it to major. Now, we talked about this in the third episode, was that over the bridge, I'm not really thinking about, doing something super crunchy, because here I think it sounds really good to just play a little bit of bebop, right? A lot of chromaticism. I think it's kind of a nice break from the harmonic minor sound, to tell you the truth. So I tend to stray away from the harmonic minor sound or the diminished sound here and just keep it kind of like straight up. It's just a nice release for the ears. And then over here, I'm sort of continuing that chromaticism, but I'm thinking about this concert A flat 7 chord. You can see there's a lot of half steps, right? And then I'm coming back into my harmonic minor sound here, but I'm using that diminished chord. But I'm basing the sound of the harmonic minor off of that diminished seventh chord that's found in there. Okay. Then same thing here. We're using those diminished chord tones that are found in that C7, flat 13, flat 9 chord, then resolving it. And then here I'm using the diminished chord tones plus the root, which was the second thing that we did in that second episode, right? So going, putting that root right in between the seventh and the flat 9 within the arpeggio. So if you look at that really closely, you'll notice that that is entirely what this phrase is based on. Okay, so there's the first chorus, just a lot of harmonic minor sounds, and you're going to notice that as a theme in this etude. All right, let's hear the second chorus, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so you probably noticed a lot of the same, but we're just evolving it, right? So again, diminished chord tones, that sound, and then resolving that to melodic minor, which is a really beautiful sound. Hear how nice those two things sound together. And then again here I'm using the diminished chord tones, but I'm also including the root. And then resolving that to major. Remember that sound? Okay, here in the second A section, I'm broadening my harmonic minor sound to really be more scale based. You see I'm using like the entire scale in some cases. And then here I'm kind of using a melodic minor sound, but with some bebop chromaticism. And I love using that passing tone between 6 and 5 on the melodic minor scale. That's a great, great way to make the melodic minor scale have a little bit more of a chromatic / bebop sound. And then here, same thing, using harmonic minor, and I'm widening the intervals here to create some interest, and then also using some scale material, and then just resolving that to major, but with more chromaticism. Okay, so now we come to the bridge, and literally, I just think this sounds good. I was playing over this, and this is how I create these etudes. I transcribe the material I played when I think I played something worth writing down, and this just kind of came to me. It's just kind of a phrase that doesn't really have any defining characteristics, just a phrase I thought sounded cool. One thing to note is that it's resolving on the 9th of the major chord. And then I just kind of tried to do some motivic development and adapt what I played to this new chord. And that's what ended up coming out the end of my horn. And you can see I kind of adapted it to this A flat 7 sharp 11, which is what we talked about in the last episode when we really took a look at the bridge. I told you I just kind of like gravitate toward that sound of the sharp 11 for some reason. I just think it sounds awesome, and I love the sound of just using 4 notes, right? That sharp 11, flat 7, root, and third. I just love that sound. Moving into the diminished chord over that G7, flat 9, flat 13. Okay, so now you hear more harmonic minor, very, very scale based, right? And one thing that I'm playing off of in this little phrase is that interval of a minor third, right, between the third and the flat 9. I think that's one of the coolest parts about the harmonic minor sound. So I'm playing off of that a little bit in this. And then here, this is purely rhythmic. I think when I was playing, I initially played this phrase, and then I caught on to that triplet thing and just ended up playing a whole bunch of displaced triplets. But I'm really happy with the way that this came out. It's just like rhythmically very interesting. So there it is, the second chorus, where I think everything is developing a little bit more. Still using a lot of the same sounds, but I think I'm using them in a little bit of a different way, just as I would do in a solo. All right, on to the third chorus. Let's hear it first. Okay, so there it is. Now, I tried to hit on some sounds that actually we didn't cover in the series so that you have even more to get into. And one of those things was some triad pairs actually found in the harmonic minor scale. So in this first one, I'm using a G diminished triad, which is found in that harmonic minor. And then I'm using a really interesting triad, which is A flat augmented. So I'm playing off of this sound. And then just resolving that to melodic minor. And then over this, I'm using the same triad pair, but just found in the C harmonic minor. So in this one, I'm using D diminished and E flat augmented. So you can kind of dig into that and figure out which step of the scale I'm finding those, and it might also open you to the possibility that there are a lot of really, really cool triad pairs found in the harmonic minor scale. And maybe we'll do a whole series on that in the future. But there's some triad pair stuff for you to study. And now here, I actually choose to use the same triad pair that I used up here, but just in a different way. So there you go. There's another example of the triad pair. You can figure out what's going on here. When I analyzed what I played, it wasn't like anything in particular. It was just another one of those places where it was like, oh, I think that this sounds cool. Here, coming into the bridge, again, it's just kind of a relief from that harmonic minor sound. The only thing of note here is I used like a diminished sound based off of F7 to enclose that fifth where I resolved on the B flat chord. In the second half of the bridge, I went to my old standby, the sharp 11 arpeggio over the A flat 7 sharp 11. And then I came out of it yet again with harmonic minor, and then I just sort of carried that harmonic minor sound through the end of the tune in a way that I thought sounded cool. So my hope is that this episode just gives you an idea of how it all comes together in a cohesive statement. And it'll just give you a ton of vocabulary. But in the other episodes, we were just like really hyper focusing on one sound. And I hope this can provide you some tools to, tie it all together, give you some new things in your ears, and help you carry on with this tune if that's what you want to keep working on. So just a reminder, you can grab this plus a demo track of me playing it. It'll come in all the keys: concert, bass clef, B flat, and E flat. Also hook you up with a backing track. And as you could probably tell, like, this stuff takes a lot of time to prepare. So if you get anything out of these videos and you have the ability, supporting us goes a long way with that small monthly donation. And you get new materials every single week with these videos. So you're keeping the channel going, and you're like really supercharging your practice routine if you want to work on this stuff at the same time. So hit that link in the description, and thank you to everybody that's supporting us already and anybody that chooses to support us in the future. All right, everybody, next month we'll have a new series on a different topic. See you in the comments. As always, thanks for hanging, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.